Today we will speak. We'll just continue actually speaking about the devotees, and especially now we speak about the guru, because it's important to have the right conception regarding the guru to actually make progress. And basically today it will be very much to understand what the guru is. That he is not at all, the external, feature. Yeah. So today class is actually not so long. So I think actually still we are able to finish at 6 o'clock if you have other things to do also. By chance actually this is half the length as usual. It's just 5 pages. Yeah. So the verse says, you have the verse there in your book. Yeah. Great. Any of you can read the Sanskrit? You like to do?
No,
like to try?
Sanskrit, but this is in English.
Just the shloka, yeah. Yeah.
Hrishtaih swabhava janite vash pushashcha doshair.
Yeah, correct.
Na prakrit vamehe bhakta janasya prashet. Gangam masam na khalu vad bud. It's very difficult.
It's difficult, yeah, but you almost finished. You can finish. Yeah.
Brahmadra vat vam pagachati nirdharmehe.
Yeah.
It's a very difficult name.
You want to try? Yeah.
In English?
Dita svabhava vanita vapusha shadusha na praktavam iha bhakta janasya parashiye ganga bansam cham na kalu baduda pena panti brahmana brahmanam apata shati niram dharmaya.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah. So let's see.
Supposed to sing, but it's difficult.
Yeah, I mean, there's one has to find the melody. Let's see. Drishtai svabhava janitaya vapusashcha dosha. Yeah, like it's the Brahma Samhita meter. Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. So I can try it. Drishtai svabhava janitaya vapusashcha dosha.
Drishtai svabhava janitaya vapusashcha dosha.
Na prakrita tvamiya bhakta janasya pashyet.
Na praktatvam iho bhakta janasya pashyat.
Gangam vasam na kalu budbudapena pankair.
Gangam vasam na kalu budbudapena pankair.
Brahmadravatvam apagacchati niradharmai.
Brahmadravatam apagacchati niradharmai.
Yeah, super. Okay, so we can take the translation. Being situated in his original Krishna conscious position, a pure devotee does not identify with the body. Such a devotee should not be seen from a materialistic point of view. Indeed, one should overlook a devotee having a body born in a low family, a body with a bad complexion, a deformed body, or a diseased or infirm body. According to ordinary vision, such imperfections may seem prominent in the body of a pure devotee, but despite such seeming defects, the body of a pure devotee cannot be polluted. It is exactly like the waters of the Ganges, which sometimes during the rainy season are full of bubbles, foam and mud. The Ganges waters do not become polluted. Those who are advanced in spiritual understanding will bathe in the Ganges without considering the condition of the water. Yeah. You'd like to read from purport, Mataji?
Shuddha Bhakti, the activity of the soul proper, in other words, engagement in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, is performed in a liberated condition. In Bhagavad Gita it is stated, Mam chayom vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samithyatan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. One who engages in full devotional service, who does not fall down in any circumstance, at once transcends the modes of material nature and thus comes to the level of Brahman. Avyabhicharini bhakti means unalloyed devotion. A person engaged in devotional service must be free from material motives. In this Krishna consciousness movement, one's consciousness must be changed. If consciousness is aimed towards material enjoyment, it is material consciousness. And it is aimed towards serving Krishna, it is Krishna consciousness. A surrendered soul serves Krishna without material considerations. Ananya Abhilashita Shunyam.
Yeah, you can stop there. So Prabhupada is now referring to this this verse, which he has quoted before also now in our Nectar of Instruction. Where did he quote it last? Was it maybe in the previous? Anya Abhilashita Shunyam Gyana Karmadi Anavritam Anukulena Krishnana Shilanam Bhakti Ruttamam. He gives the definition of pure devotional service. Let's see, we have it previously quoted full. See, where was that? Yeah, here it is. If you go to, you can look here. Here you have it. In that page. Yeah. Anya Abhilashita Shunyam Gyana Karma Adya Navritam Anukulyana Krishna Shilanam Bhakti Rutama. Yeah. So that's a very important verse. That would actually also be one of the verses we are supposed to remember when we take this course. We will have that's in the Nectar of Devotion. Our fourth book. Yeah. Nectar of Devotion is also it's much bigger than this, but we will not have all of it. We have only half of it. Yeah.
But for this one, we don't need to memorize.
No. This is just in the purport. But later on, we will actually. That's one of the shlokas to be learned. This is one of the most used verses we have in our Gaudiya Vaishnava, religion, because it's pretty much defined. Gaudiya Vaishnavism or our spiritual practice is pretty much defined by Rupa Goswami actually. So that's why his verses are very often quoted. Yeah, you can read on, Mataji?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we stopped here.
Yeah, after Anya Abhilashita Shunyam. Yeah, next one after that.
Devotional service, which is translated is here.
Yeah.
You have to read the Sanskrit also. Gyana Karmadi Anavritam. Yeah.
Snana Karmadi.
Hare Krishna, welcome.
Karmadi. Okay.
Anavritam.
Allow the devotional service which is transcendental to the activities of the body and mind, such as jnana, mental speculation, and karma, fruitive work, is called pure Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga is the proper activity of the soul, and when one actually engaged in unallowed and contaminated devotional service, he is already liberated. Shagunam Samatya Ityam. Krishna's devotee is not subject to material conditions, even though these bodily pictures may appear materially conditioned. One should therefore not see a poor devotee from a materialistic point of view. Unless one is actually a devotee, he cannot see another devotee perfectly. As explanation in the previous verse, there are three types of devotees: Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyama Adhikari, and Uttama Adhikari. The Kanishta Adhikari cannot distinct between a devotee and a no-devotee. It is simply concerned with worshiping the deity in the temple. A Madhyama Adhikari, however, can distinguish between the devotee and the no-devotee, as well as between the devotee and the Lord. Though he treats the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the devotee and the no-devotee in different ways. No one should criticize the bodily defects of a pure devotee. If there are such defects, they should be overlooked. What should be taken into account is the spiritual master's main business, which is devotional service, pure service to the Supreme Lord. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Apiset Sudula Sharu Mankanana Sadhu eva shamata riya shamya yavasito hisa. Even if a devotee sometimes seems to engage in the abominable activities, he should be considered a sadhu, a saintly person, because he is actually identified his debt of one engaged in the loving service of the Lord. In other words, he is not to be considered an ordinary human being.
Super. So, any comments or questions to that? Is it?
Like we talked about the last lesson about these different kinds of devotees, and it's
We
difficult.
should look at other devotees with respect, like we should not criticize them.
It's like the basic.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we are not here who comes here once a week, but sometimes when people are together every day, and this can be more difficult. But we have to respect.
That's the thing. We really have to think about, we have so many different situations,
Yes,
all the different devotees.
Mm.
So that's,
But if some devotee tries to do something wrong, then the other devotee should not say anything.
well, you should.
Yes,
You should, but you may say to those who are, seniors in the place, that's one thing you can do.
Mm.
The thing is, we try to avoid, making, any drama, as far as we can do. Of course, sometimes it's difficult, but the thing is, the Vaishnava structure is as such that there will always be somebody who is senior to ourselves, somebody always junior, and somebody on our same level. So I said, those on the same level we make friendship. Those who are senior, we may take advice and learn from them, and those junior, we have compassion and we help them. So if somebody is doing something wrong, you can say, or behaving badly like that. If we are senior to them, we can directly talk to them. Say if somebody who's junior to you, who is newer in this process, then you can tell them, that's okay, because you have the authority over that person.
Now, supposing that this stealing incident which happened in a temple.
Yeah.
Supposing even a junior devotee saw someone stealing, and if the person does not stop the other person, he's gone, and home.
Yeah, it has to be sometimes assessed from case to case, really, because it's not all cases which are so clear what is the right thing to do. Because
if someone is bothering you, and then you go to a senior devotee and you talk about it. So.
Yeah, but it's important to get it cleared. Otherwise, if we harbor like ill feelings or like that, it could be too much for ourselves. It can be like often in our movement. Not only in our movement, in social dealings, we have the pressure cooker effect. That somebody bothers us or like that, and it just we don't know what to do about it, and you just become more and more. In the end, it just bursts out as a big effect.
But if the senior devotee doesn't do anything, and if the other devotee keeps on troubling us,
then you can do it. It's okay, you can confront, but we try and still do it in a very nice way. Like Vaishnava is often like to do the little subtle. So for example, we don't say, why are you doing this? You can say, I'm sorry, I'm so conditioned, so I'm bothered by this, and you don't really address even the person. I'm so bothered when somebody is doing like this, which actually that person is doing, but you just say like indirectly, and you just say it very humbly, like I'm so conditioned, other people they can tolerate, but I'm just so conditioned. So in that way it can be quite sweet. The delivery, if the delivery is sweet, then the other person will not be offended, because usually there are 2 points of view for everything. From our point of view, it may seem like clear cut, but it may not be actually the fact from the other point of view. Maybe it has a good reason why it's done in that way. So that's the thing about consciousness. We often cannot see outside our own bubble. I very much often surprised by this. I remember so many instances. I go around even for a week, and I'm 100% sure that it is like this, and the other person is wrong, I'm right.
Yeah.
But then when I actually did the confrontation, then I found out, actually I was wrong. But I didn't know before I actually confronted. Then I understood. It's how it often is. So it's good to confront, but it has to be done very delicately, not very angry,
Yes, of course.
if possible. Yeah. Otherwise, it is said it's better to be angry with the senior, to go to the senior and just vent anger, because the senior is just there to kind of be a kind of a supervisor. And then when all is peaceful, then you can go to the person and actually talk. Yeah. Okay, how much did we read?
Going to even.
Yeah, thank you. So I can read. Even if a devotee, you read that one, or we should read it?
No, you should.
Yeah. Even if a devotee sometimes seems to engage in abominable activities.
Did you read the
No,
verse?
so this one.
Oh, next one, yeah.
Even,
Yeah. Even though a pure, there's two evens.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
okay.
Even though a pure devotee may not be born in a Brahmana or Goswami family, if he is engaged in the service of the Lord, he should be neglected. Oh, sorry, he should not be neglected, of course. So in actuality, there cannot be a family of Goswamis based on material considerations, caste or heredity. The Goswami title is actually the monopoly of the pure devotees. Thus we speak of the 6 Goswamis headed by Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami. Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami had practically become Mohammedans and had therefore changed their names to Dabir, Kausa and Sakara Malik. So we talked there about they were actually given new names when they worked for the Muslim government at that time. Of course, their name was not Rupa and Sanatana. Those 2 names they got from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when they got his blessings. So before I don't remember what their actual name was before that. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, himself he made them Goswamis. So we have heard about the title Goswami. I think it was mentioned in the beginning of the book. Goswami means the one who is self-controlled, who controls his senses. Swami means master, and Go means senses. Yeah, that's exactly what Prabhupada is saying. The word Goswami refers to one who can control his senses, who is master of sense. A devotee is not controlled by the senses, but is the controller of the senses. Consequently, he should be called Swami or Goswami, even though he may not be born in a Goswami family. Yeah, so they're like.
Is it the senior who decide who will be born as a?
Actually, Prabhupada is actually referring to the sannyas initiation here. Yeah, it was very much in fashion, you can say, at Prabhupada's time. They were standing in the queue to take sannyas initiation. It's not so popular anymore as it was before. At that time, it was used like very much 100% for preaching, to spread, especially the movement in India. Prabhupada he initiated so many to be Goswami or Swami. And in that way, they went to India. Many of his Western disciples started temples, and there was a lot of
But
propaganda.
how do you make sure even a sannyasi sometimes does not have control over the?
That's the problem. That is the problem. So in that way, by experience now, 50 years down the road, now it's so difficult to get this sannyasi. Before it was like you could say it was more easily available. It sound like that at least. Now you have to be on the waiting list and have to test you, so many tests. And many, I heard, they're waiting for many years. And still they're not getting, and sometimes they're rejected from the list.
Because in the beginning everything was starting, and then
Yeah,
you have to do it.
in that way, but they found out, probably didn't have so much
Yes,
time, he just established.
yes.
But they found out, that actually it's not enough just to want to be a Swami or be a sannyasi. One actually has to have the qualifications.
That makes sense.
Yeah, of course it does.
In the university you have to have
Yeah.
qualification. For example.
So you understand this preaching spirit was so enormously strong at Prabhupada time. Everybody was so fired up and blissful in preaching. So it just happened, so many things. And they were quite young actually. Even they took sannyas when they were just 30 years, 25 years. Yeah. Just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas, but that's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He can do. Krishna has an incarnation, has a lila. He can hold Govardhan. His little feeling. He can take sannyas when he's 24. These are uncommon things which Lord can do. It's usually not so easy for us to do this. So and even for preaching now especially in the West, sannyas is not really needed. Most preachers now in the West who have a lot of, or who make a lot of impact, they're just grihastas, or normal, you can say, devotees. It's not necessary to be in this renounced order actually, but for a few people it's actually practical because they actually are there in their consciousness, their nature to be renounced. So that's why this is there, and it should be there. It's a part of our society. Yeah. Yeah. So here, what Prabhupada is referring to here is the family line from Nityananda Prabhu and Advaita Prabhu in particular, part of the Panchatattva, and they call themselves Goswami, just like we have our surname. Like in Norway, a common surname is Hansen. It means actually the son of Hans, Hans' son, Hansen. So like over 100,000 who has that as the last name, maybe 1 million. It's very, very common. So in the same way, they have the surname Goswami, even though they are not Swami actually. I mean, technically not sannyas. It's just like, and probably he didn't like that actually.
Yeah, in the south, based on the caste system, I think they have Goswami, and like from the surname you can identify this person belongs to a Brahmin family.
Exactly, yeah.
It's not correct depiction like Prabhupada says.
Exactly. Especially in our bhakti circles, we like to have that reserved only for the sannyasis. But okay. At least at that time when Prabhupada was writing this, there was kind of some very much talk about this. I don't know if this is an issue anymore. I don't think so actually. We don't have any issue with these two groups anymore. They are doing their thing. We are doing ours.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay. So where do we go? Yeah. So according.
But you have like one Gaudiya Vaishnavas and you have other Sampradayas also. Like.
Yeah.
Do they have like lot of different thinking?
Well, in one sense, yes. We have a few different, Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradayas who come in the footsteps of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Yeah.
Some are quite different, but usually all of them have different tilak.
Yeah, the black one and the...
Yeah, they have, so we can distinguish who is who. So our Gaudiya Vaishnava is specific, and even Iskcon is a little bit different from, you can say, Gaudiya Mat or. But basically we are really doing the same thing. We're chanting Hare Krishna, and we have the prasad, and we have the Bhagavatam and the Bhagavad Gita class. This is like the basic. So, and we have all the Gaudiya Vaishnava literature.
You can see a lot of differences. Like
Very, very different. Yeah. If you go to Vrindavan now, there are many different Vaishnava groups, and not all of them are Gaudiya Vaishnava even.
I was so confused.
As far as I understand.
yeah, they have different ways of
Yeah.
doing everything.
I mean, when I'm talking about like being really Gaudiya Vaishnava, then one should actually have the spiritual master. One should be initiated by a spiritual master who again has a spiritual master. Again, back to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who started the Gaudiya Vaishnava line. Yeah? And there are many groups who are in that way they're Gaudiya Vaishnava because they start from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, some of his disciple, all the way. So they're linked. But there are a few who are kind of self-manifested gurus who don't actually have maybe a line. So that probably never accepted this actually. Yeah. So so did we read the last paragraph here or?
But
No. Yeah, sure.
do we have the choice of choosing our own guru? Like how does
You have the choice. This is our own choice. Nobody can choose the guru for us.
No. So you can ask the guru if
Yeah.
you are worthy of initiation.
You can ask, and the guru he will give some what do you call this? What do you call the parameters? Like you have to fulfill some protocol. Yeah, protocol I think is name. Yeah, there's many names for it. So for example, in Iskcon, if anybody wants to be a disciple for a guru in Iskcon, one has to have 4 things. And that is called the 4 regulative principles. So that means no sex outside marriage, no meat eating, no gambling, and no intoxication. And then you have the positive things. One should chant the 16 rounds.
For at least 6 months, you said.
Yeah, for at least 6 months, just to prove one's adhikar. So one should have what is called adhikar, proclivity to do that, aspiration. Yeah. So if one doesn't have that, then one is not considered to be.
But how does the guru, the person might be living in some other country and guru is somewhere else, and person says, no, I'm not drinking, I'm not doing this.
Yeah, so that's why the system in Iskcon is that there is the local temple. The prospective disciple needs to be connected to a local temple. Yeah. That's the requirement. So the local temple, the temple president, the leader of the local temple, he will require that person who wants to be initiated to come regularly. So he know that person. Not just superficially he need to know that person a little bit more. So he will know the nature, and he can assess that actually this person is chanting 16 rounds. He can see the person is following, because temple president is supposed to be a more senior devotee who can see a little bit about the consciousness in another person. So if he gives the approval, he will then tell the GBC or tell the guru directly that this is okay. This person, he has been now chanting 16 rounds for 6 months. He's good, and then the guru will just trust that, and he will then accept the disciple and give formal initiation. And then the GBC, they have to even accept that person as guru. They have to give approval that this person is qualified to be the guru also. So there is a little bit paperwork.
So in Norway, who has the authority?
Here in Norway, nobody has been given authority to be guru, like official.
What?
But that is called Diksha Guru. I think we discussed that the other day also. Siksha Guru is no official authority. You need to get from GBC. Siksha Guru can be anybody who is
Someone
senior.
from Norway wants to get initiated, then who decides?
Well, who will decide if it's approved? That will be the local temple. So either here or in Bergen. Yeah. Yeah.
Or here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like that. So that's how it works. It's said that if somebody wants a person to be a guru, or somebody himself wants to be initiating, Diksha initiating teacher, he has to go to a GBC, and they will say, okay, we will consider you to be a Diksha Guru. You need to just have a few person on the list who wants to take initiation from you. So I think it's not that much needed. Maybe just 2 or 3 disciples who want to be initiated. Then we'll say, okay. Then they will just test him for a period. They will send a representative from the GBC. Some local, senior devotee will come there and kind of report. Maybe it's also a few months waiting period. And then they will see, okay, we checked out. It's okay, now you're officially accepted. Now you can now start taking disciples. Yeah, we'll say. And that person can now be a Diksha Guru in Iskcon. So in that way, but he needs to have a list of at least 2 or 3, as far as I understand, prospective disciples. Yeah, but he needs to be qualified. But otherwise he just is a Shiksha Guru. Yeah, and many start like that. For example, my own spiritual master, I heard a story. His first disciples, he was just like 15, 16 years, and he met him in 1987. Yeah. 1987, and my Guru Maharaj, he got official approval from GBC to be Guru in around 2002. So that means how many years is that? 1987 is 20 years.
Yeah.
No, not 20 years. Almost. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. It's a long time. It's like 15 years. Yeah. But already then, my god brother, he got connected to my Guru Maharaj, and already then the relationship started. It started taking instruction. The guru disciple relationship is not dependent on diksha. Actually, it's an eternal relationship. This is which person is connecting Krishna to you. The guru is actually just representing the eternal person we are serving in the spiritual world. So that anybody of us, we are doing an eternal service to an eternal associate of Krishna in the spiritual world, who again serves another one. So in that way, the guru is eternal, and the disciple is also eternal, and the connection is happening here in the material world. And then officially in Iskcon you can have diksha like that, but otherwise it's said that siksha is actually enough, because you get the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. It's not dependent on diksha. But for practical purposes, often diksha is very good, because it seems like disciples can be more serious sometimes by the diksha, because then you're getting a name. You get all these formalities. You get a spiritual name. You have to kind of not just kind of, you have to take a vow that you say, I promise I will follow this I follow 4 rules. You promise you will chant 16 rounds. It's formality. But actually, all this can just be, promised to the Siksha Guru. Technically speaking. So in the later years now in Iskcon, it has been more and more common actually.
But in India, I heard
to have
from
that.
2-3 people in the temple that they just went and they got in India.
Yeah, I also heard, so there are exceptions, that they don't need to wait. Some gurus, they just initiate quicker. I also got my initiation quick, but that was before the system was kind of put up. I mean, Prabhupada gave initiation on the same day.
The same day, yeah.
And some he gave same day, the first initiation and the second initiation. Like the most famous example is when I forgot the name. One famous guru in Iskcon from the past. So he met Prabhupada. Gaur Govinda Swami. So see, he came to Prabhupada. He came in a temple in India. And Prabhupada was sitting there, and he came in. And
this is like special.
Yeah, and he bowed down like that, and he asked, how can I serve you? Or I don't remember. And then Prabhupada just said, the first thing he said to him, I'll give you sannyas. First thing he said.
But he could sense.
He could sense the adhikar was so high. He was already Uttam Adhikari when he walked in the door. So the eternal relationship was immediately established. It usually takes a bit longer time because the disciple is usually a little covered over by the gunas. Some ignorance is there, the knowledge has been lost. So we need to learn again.
When I was getting initiated, there were like 100,000 of people, and I told my husband, I'm not going in this so much crowd.
Yeah.
If the master calls me in front of him, then I will go. Then suddenly someone took my hand and took me in front of the spiritual master. I was like, how did the master hear all this? And when he gave us the some secret mantra, I could hear beautiful music which I have never heard. The spiritual master will find you, I think.
Yeah.
So Thea, she's asking a question here. Yeah. She asked, did you ever think about it to become Diksha Guru?
We are two already.
Well, I can only say, thank you for the question, Thea. These things can only happen if people actually want you to do it. So even if I would think about it, then there will have to be blessings, because we cannot do nothing without blessing. That's important. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Yes, bro. We have the class now. Yeah. Oh, was it your cartels? Oh, sorry. I just put them down there, probably on the side of the window or something. I'm sorry. Yeah. So these things are very delicate. Actually, in the old days, there were many who were kind of pestering Prabhupada, and wrong word. I mean, they were kind of Prabhupada, please give me sannyas, because they understood at that time it was a very good deal. Because when you join Hare Krishna in the past, you are a brahmachari, and you're on the lowest stage of the food chain. You just have to work, listen to the temple commander, listen to the temple president, and just be like a slave. But then if you will get sannyas, suddenly you're on the top. And then you can command everybody. Yeah. So many people that were in the queue, and probably even understood that they had some impure motive, and they said, wait. But sometimes they were so much, please, again, and Prabhupada said, okay, I'll give you sannyas. But unfortunately, many of them fell down later. Because, you get so much pride and high level. So the same thing with being a guru, like Diksha Guru, it may be from, the stage of, the ego or something like that. But it should be actually 100% as a service. So if the question is, I take everything service on the same level. This is my approach, and it's not only my approach, this is Krishna's approach. If somebody asks me to cook the Sunday feast, I can cook the Sunday feast. If people want me to do it and they give me the means, so we will have the bhoga, I can cook. If anybody asks me to give a cloth, I do that as a service. Anybody asks me to wash the floor, I do that as a service. If anybody wants me to give the dikshas, I can give diksha as a service. There is no difference on all these things. It's just service. Yeah. Because it's just a transmission of knowledge. It's a technical thing. Just like cooking. I can say I'm not qualified to cook. But it said when you cook for Krishna, the Daivi Prakriti, the Ladini Shakti of Krishna is working in you when you're
I
cooking.
experienced twice,
Yeah.
like I was preparing that kheer, and I don't know what was going on. I was standing for 15 minutes and I had to go to the office, so I switched on the flame and,
Yeah.
and the pot got burnt and I felt bad the whole day. But I said, Krishna, I'm really sorry, but from my heart.
Yeah, that's the thing. So
But
so
when I
the
tasted it was not tasting like it was burnt.
it didn't taste burnt. It's because you offered it to Krishna.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
This
I
is the
thought,
amazing
like,
thing. Many other devotees have experienced the same thing.
Yeah, I thought if Krishna is eating that burnt, then I should finish it. Then I took it and I ate everything, but it was actually tasting quite nice.
Yeah. This
But
is the truth.
whole vessel was burnt from the pot.
So that's the point. So even though you can say we may be unqualified from the material point of view, we may be a little burned, so to speak. But still, if we get the instruction to do it and we just surrender to that, then we can still do it and be like a vessel for Krishna's will.
And next day I
And
was
cook for Krishna,
so
for
much in
example.
tears. I cleaned my whole house and everything. I was like, if Krishna can tolerate the burnt kheer, then I should do more from
Wow.
my side.
Exactly.
Oh my
So
God.
that's very nice to hear. But Prabhupada also says that especially for being Diksha Guru, one has to have worked very much to get rid of the unwanted anartha. So it may be a long process before one actually is qualified. But it says also that Madhyama Adhikari can also be a guru. He also says one who is in the medium stage. Yeah. So in that way it's possible. Yeah. But he doesn't advise a Kanishta Adhikari to be guru. So that means somebody who blaspheme others, who very much look different.
But I
That's
realized
not so
something, the
good.
more
Yeah.
you come close to Krishna, your heart starts melting so quickly.
Yeah.
If someone comes, you're like just melting and melting. But sometimes it's not good also, people take advantage.
Yeah.
Because you cannot say anything to anyone. You're like, if this person is suffering, I have to help or do something.
Exactly.
How do we control them, Prabhuji?
How do we control what?
Like we become so much, our heart just melts, like. And
Yeah, but that's good. That's
we
good.
want to be more compassionate, but sometimes the people are just
Using us.
Yeah, I know that's often how it is. So we just need to wise up. We need to be wise. We can talk with others. Sometimes we become too emotional, and it's good always to consult others. Like, how am I doing now? Is it too much?
But
Too little?
it's not like we are losing our senses now, because if you think logically, if I don't have control over my emotions,
Yeah.
I'm losing my senses, then what is how to manage this?
Or to balance it.
How to balance it, yeah.
We have to chant, Hare Krishna. This is the best thing. If you chant 16 rounds good every day, we will be stable, in our
I've
consciousness.
realized when I'm not chanting 16 hours every day, my heart is melting like anything now. This is becoming opposite. Earlier I was very logical, okay, no, this should be this. Now everything is like, either I'm crying or I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it's a gradual process, What can I say? I think we should read on. I just skipped, this Goswami part because we already talked about that. So we'll go on the page 49. Well, actually, you have it. Just go through the Goswami part, and then we read from if we consider the bodily defects of a Vaishnava. Yeah.
After the
Yeah.
where
If we consider the bodily defects of a Vaishnava. Can you see that?
Yeah, if we
Yeah.
consider the bodily
Yeah.
defects.
You can read that one. Yeah.
If we consider the bodily defects of a Vaishnava, we should understand that we are committing an offense in the lotus feet of Vaishnava. An offense at the lotus feet of Vaishnava is very serious. Indeed, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has described his offense as Hatimata,
Exactly.
the mad elephant offense. A mad elephant can create a disaster, especially when it enters into a nicely trimmed garden. One should therefore be very careful not to commit any offense against a Vaishnava. Every devotee should be ready to take instructions from a superior Vaishnava, and a superior Vaishnava must be ready to help an inferior Vaishnava in all respects. One is superior or inferior according to his spiritual development in Krishna consciousness. One is forbidden to observe the activities of a pure Vaishnava from a material point of view. For the neophyte, especially considering a pure devotee from a material point of view is very injurious. One should therefore avoid observing observing a pure devotee externally, but should try to see the internal features and understand how he is engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. In this way, one can avoid seeing the pure devotee from a material point of view, and thus one can gradually become a purified devotee himself.
Yes. Was that understood? It was quite clear, yeah? Yeah.
Is it like we should not express what we are thinking, but we should try to...
No, you can express, but not in an offensive way.
No.
If you can do it in a kind way, then it's okay. But specifically today, it was to see, the guru or the pure devotee from the outside point of view. One can think, okay, this person has some disease, or the body is kind of ugly or destroyed. So one could think, this person has bad karma. That means, this person is a sinful person, right?
Yeah.
But actually, that's the wrong way to observe, the devotee, because devotee is actually pure. So one shouldn't actually think like that. That's important. And if one has some doubt, yeah.
Say to themselves, I have a lot of bad karmas in my life. Is it wrong?
No, it's not wrong. But devotees may say themselves out of humility. But actually, the truth is that the devotee is always beyond karma. You see. I think that was also mentioned in the verse that the body of a devotee is not prakrita. It's not material. This thing to see things materially, that is called a prakriti bhakta. Then we are materialistic devotee. We see prakriti, yeah. But we should see, we should see spiritual.
Yeah, but we are living in the so-called world. We haven't taken sannyas,
Yeah.
and whatever happened in the past, I also think maybe it was some bad karma.
Yeah, it's okay. We can consider in our own life, but it's said, especially when also for normal devotees, neophyte devotees, you can think like that. Okay, there is some karma here, but we talk for these who are really advanced, like the guru who is very advanced, always engaged in the service of the Lord. We should think now that actually the karmic life of that person is over, because it's actually said that from the time that guru was initiated by his spiritual master, then his spiritual life 100% manifest, and he is no longer under a karma.
So you mean to say, like, I'm initiated, my karmic life is over?
Well, if you are initiated by a Vaishnava guru and are engaged in the service, fully, it is a specific kind of initiation we're talking about. Not just Kula guru or like from the family, but we talk about like an initiation with adhikar, with a real aspiration. So that's the high level, because in such an initiation, you will have some requirements given by the guru. It's actually part of proper initiation is that the guru will demand something. Yeah, there will be a demand from the guru, and the disciple has to fulfill the demand. Yeah, that's actually the Diksha initiation we talk about. So it's a different level. And this is specifically, the Gaudiya Vaishnava initiation. In the line of Chaitanya, it was that there should be a certain number of rounds chanted, and also a requirement to follow, the regulations of the human life. Yeah. So that has to be there actually to come to Uttama Bhakti, to the pure Bhakti. Yeah. So that has been given by Rupa Goswami and the other Goswamis who were directly instructed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to have these requirements. So for this type of Vaishnavism, where one is coming to the higher level of Krishna Prema, is required to have this structure in one life, that one is aspiring, working, getting rid of the anarthas, unwanted things in the heart. So it's called the 9 steps of bhakti, from Shraddha to Prema. Adav Shraddha Tata Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivriti, Nishta, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava, and then Prema.
What is Asakti?
Asakti means attachment, spiritual attachment. This is a very advanced level. At that level, one will have one's Ishtadev will be manifested for one. Which specific form of Krishna is your attachment? Yeah. So in that way, it's a journey of advancement. And who will guide us on that journey? That is the Guru. And that guru is not different from Chaitya guru in the heart. So in that way we should actually watch our guru and think that we don't think this guru is made of the flesh, we don't consider this guru's karmic background. That was, actually that person's material life is over. That person is now 100% spiritual. It's just a representative of Paramatma. This is how we should watch. And I can tell you a very nice way we can understand that. It's the same way we watch the deities. You know, before we install the deities or dress them or like that, they're just ordinary, you know, made from the wood or made from the material. But once you put them there, you install them, you chant Hare Krishna, you worship them, you serve the food, now you treat them very special, right? And you don't view them any longer as material object. In the same way with the guru. When the guru has been, you know, accepted as a guru, he takes on now, you know, the spiritual quality. The body is no longer material. So in that way, the disciple can serve, you know, the guru. But it's actually just serving Krishna through that. Because if you look at the deities also, you can say it's just material, but we're serving God, we're serving Krishna through that material. So that's Krishna's system. He says that he is manifested in his material world, in the guru, in his holy name, in the deities, and in the holy book, specifically the Krishna, the Bhakti Shastras, like the Bhagavad Gita, Srimad, there also Krishna is. So in these 5, then Krishna actually personally is there. In this is the only way we can actually go from material life to the spiritual life, through these portals of Krishna's manifestations. Krishna is manifested in the guru, in his books, in the deity form, in the holy name, like this. Does it make sense? Yeah. So, okay, let's read on. Those who think that Krishna consciousness is limited to a certain section of people, a certain section of devotees, or a certain tract of land are generally prone to see the external features of the devotee. Such neophytes, unable to appreciate the exalted service of the advanced devotee, try to bring the Mahabhagavat to their platform. We experience such difficulty in propagating this Krishna consciousness all over the world. Unfortunately, we are surrounded by neophyte God brothers who do not appreciate the extraordinary activities of spreading Krishna consciousness all over the world. They simply try to bring us to their platform, and they try to criticize us in every respect. We very much regret their naive activities and poor fundamental knowledge. An empowered person who is actually engaged in the confidential service of the Lord should not be treated as an ordinary human being, for it is stated that unless one is empowered by Krishna, one cannot spread the Krishna consciousness movement all over the world. When one thus criticizes a pure devotee, he commits an offense called Vaishnava Aparad. That is very obstructive and dangerous for those who desire to advance in Krishna consciousness. A person cannot derive any spiritual benefit when he offends the lotus feet of a Vaishnava. Everyone should therefore be very careful not to be jealous of an empowered Vaishnava or a Shuddha Vaishnava. It is also an offense to consider an empowered Vaishnava an object of disciplinary action. It is offensive to try to give him advice or to correct him. So in other words, the disciple should not try to correct, the guru. Sometimes Prabhupada was, asking his disciples, is this correct in English? And then the disciple can say, no, it's wrong. If the guru invites, or sometimes the Prabhupada will discuss with his disciples, what do you think about this idea? What do you think? And then the disciple could say, I don't think this is a good idea, Prabhupada. Then it's okay. But if the guru didn't ask, say if the guru is cooking and the disciple comes and says, hey, you're doing wrong, to say that to guru, that would be considered,
Who was guru of Prabhupada?
Prabhupada's guru was Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Yeah. Yeah. So even Prabhupada, he got also, he was also corrected by his own guru. Every disciple is at one point, sometimes more, sometimes less, corrected by the guru. Otherwise, what's the meaning of the relationship?
So at that time, he was not the only disciple.
No, he was one of many disciples. His guru had many thousand disciples. Yeah.
So but are the other people also?
It was the only one who come to the West.
No, there were several disciples of Prabhupada's guru who came to the West. But they went to England, others. And some went to Germany, I heard. Yeah, so actually, I heard Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he made one German disciple even. Like that. But the one who made most, you can say, waves and most propaganda for Hare Krishna movement was obviously Srila Prabhupada when he went to America. But some of his disciples also went to England and Germany, so they did something, but it wasn't that much successful as Prabhupada. Yeah. But that doesn't mean they are Actually, this is another thing. Prabhupada even said that to his disciples that we should view the god brothers of the Guru to be on the same level as the Guru and respect that person, this person. Because it's actually not about, sometimes the disciples could be a little proud and say, our Guru is the best, the other god brothers are probably there. No, it's the wrong way of thinking. The wrong way. You should never think like that. It's on the absolute platform. All are devotees, they're serving Guru, they're just as good, all of them. It's very important to understand. We don't view the Guru on the material platform. So in the same way, the god brothers of the Guru are supposed to view the same way as we view the Guru. So they're also non-material. Actually, all devotees are non-material, but they may have not manifested their maturity yet. This is the explanation given by our acharyas, actually, that all... Prabhupada was once asked also, how many pure devotees are there in Iskcon? And Prabhupada asked, how many people are there who are initiated by me in Iskcon? That's how many pure devotees there are. Because this path, which we have, this Gaudiya Vaishnava path, when one take initiation into that path, one is on the pure devotional, path. So everybody is a Shuddha Vaishnava, Shuddha Bhakta. It's just a matter, of the maturity. It's just like everybody, when we are born, we are a child. But then, we become mature as we are growing. But it's already actually started.
But some of the people who got initiated, they come back to the material world also. Right?
Well, it's explained that it will actually just be a detour. It will just be temporary. After some time, they will again come back. Yeah.
They will come back.
It's because of bad,
Experience.
yeah. So some old memory from past, he may kind of swing back. But Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that also. The yoga brashta, those who fell away from the path of yoga. Suchi Srimatam Gehe Yoga Brashtu Pajayate. He says that they will be born in the next life, they will be born in a good family, so they can again start from where they left off. But often in Iskcon, some Prabhupada disciples who did a lot of service and they did a lot of very good things when Prabhupada was there. After Prabhupada left, then they also left. They were gone for maybe 20 years, and then they have come back now. In their old days.
Like in my previous words, I was like close to devotion, but I somehow went back to the material world. Now I think consciously, like, how can I not go back again?
Yeah. So in that way, we are more serious in this life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in that way, we are really growing.
How can I make sure, like, I don't fall back?
Yeah. One has to really, really get nice instruction from the Guru and follow the instruction. And be a nice disciple. That's the best way, it's said. One has to be really, one has to be, humble and serious. Like it says in Bhagavatam. Pranipat, one has to surrender, one has to pariprashna, one has to really ask, be completely satisfied with one's doubts and questions. So one is fully, enlightened. And also seva, one has to do service. Whatever we do is actually service. Whether we are conscious of it or not, we are actually, by nature, we are Krishna's servants. So
because I think anyone who is coming here, some kind of past life they were associated. Yes. We cannot just come to the temple and...
Exactly. That's the truth.
Accept the service.
That's a very nice way to view it, Mataji, because in that way we will have respect for everybody.
Yeah.
No matter what is the gunas at the moment for us, we will have respect for everybody, because everybody here is a Vaishnava, just as we heard also that anybody who just chanted Hare Krishna one time, they are considered to be a devotee. And what to speak if they chant often, or if they're initiated, then should be given more respect. And if they're Uttam Adhikari, very advanced,
Sadhu Sangha is the only thing which will keep us together.
Yes.
If we are not in Sadhu Sangha, then it's very easy.
And especially actually to have the faith that the devotees are merciful. This is also a very good thing.
You keep in touch with me.
Yeah.
We need.
Because often the devotees have problem in the West, especially because here in India we have temples everywhere. You can get purification needs, but here it's like We're like some kind of
I'm from India,
small group,
Babuji,
you know.
but
Yeah.
I never used to go to the temple so
Oh, okay.
seriously.
Yeah.
Okay.
It used to be like, oh, the deity is so far off and I have no connection.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I
Interesting.
mean, over there there's so many people you can't even see the God properly.
Mhm.
Here at least we go close to the God.
Ah, that's
I
nice.
think here we can do service. In India you cannot do any service also.
That's very true. They have higher
You're not even
requirements.
allowed to enter that Garbhagriha
Yes.
where the
Yeah.
deities are there.
Very good. That's nice to hear your experience. So here it's actually even better than India. Yeah.
So I think here I feel more spiritually awakened. Whenever I go back to India, my head starts with thousands of so many thoughts and so many noises.
Yeah.
Here my mind is calm.
Very, very good. So in that way, we have a great mercy from Krishna in the association of the Vaishnavas, of the Sadhu Sangha, and also with the deities in the temple. So that's very good.
I think our flower seva group is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of them are nice. Then everyone who comes for the seva, they are nice.
Yeah, super. So I'll just read the last paragraph, so we're finished with that. Yeah. So yeah, the Vaishnava Parada, that is very obstructive and dangerous for those who desire to advance in Krishna consciousness. A person cannot derive any spiritual benefit when he offends the lotus feet of a Vaishnava. Everyone should therefore be very careful not to be jealous of an empowered Vaishnava or a Shuddha Vaishnava. It is also an offense to consider an empowered Vaishnava an object of disciplinary action. I just read that actually. It is offensive to try to give him advice or to correct him. One can distinguish between a neophyte Vaishnava and an advanced Vaishnava by their activities. Yeah, simply by the activities. We read, that the advanced Vaishnava, he doesn't like to criticize others. Nindadi shunya. Yeah, there is no ninda. Ninda means to just blaspheme others. A pure devotee will not be like that. My Guru Maharaj, a few times he said, that he said officially, we are in Iskcon, we say, we're not meat eating. But he said sometimes we can have the slaughterhouse in our mouth,
Wow.
even though we claim to be, vegetarian. So in that way, a pure devotee doesn't have this slaughterhouse, in the mouth. It's peaceful there. It's not angry and full of venom. If you actually live in a nice way, we don't harbor any ill feeling toward any other living entity. Neither
But in the
eating
office,
or
I've
criticizing.
often people say to me, you have lived in Norway for such a long time, you don't try to integrate. I said, what is integration? Can you please define? I mean, I'm not going to eat what you're eating. I'm not drinking. That is beyond I'm not doing it. And
Yeah.
skiing is something which I'm not interested in. And
I mean,
Christmas I
yeah.
don't celebrate. So
Yeah.
why do people say all this?
I think that was a very rude
Yeah.
question. Who asked you that?
There are
But
many people
yeah,
say like,
that-
oh, you don't celebrate Christmas, you don't integrate and all. And
Many
it's
Indians,
very-
they celebrate Christmas here, no?
Yeah, but if I don't feel like
No, you don't need to do. I mean, when I was in India also, I didn't care about Christmas. I mean, Christmas is, it's not even a Christian holiday anymore. It's just a materialistic thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just Santa Claus is a kind of,
But you often
Yeah.
hear from people like,
yeah.
she's different, she's this, she's that.
yeah. I wouldn't worry too much about that.
I don't
know.
No.
worry, but sometimes.
Prabhupada said, there is a paraphrase about, that you are like an elephant. If you're a good human being, or a spiritual person, you're like an elephant. An elephant is not bothered by the dogs or by the mouse, because he's an elephant, not bothered by this barking dog, because you're big and
Yeah, because she said in a bad way. Like she said, you come to a new country and you do not accept the rules of the country. I mean,
Yeah,
I
but
said
this
if
is-
you come to India, I will not expect you to do what
exactly,
I do.
that's the point. That's the best
I will
answer.
not tell you to go to the temple if you don't want to do.
Yeah, so then I'm sure that person couldn't give an answer then.
She was very.
Yeah.
She looked at me very.
Yeah. Then you don't have it, because they will definitely not follow when they go to India anything. They want to be, Norwegian there, 100%. And that's the thing, Englishmen, they came to India, they didn't want to become Hindus at all.
Yeah,
They'd
because
rather try to convert the Hindus to
Yes.
become like Englishmen.
because most of the people think Indians who come to Norway, they are coming because of money and they want. I said, it's not easy to. I love my country, and for me, I think I've done something wrong in my karma when I'm in a foreign country.
Yeah, this is the best answer.
I'm not here
Yeah.
to. I'm not minting money, you can see. So
Yeah.
I
Like,
think it's
yeah.
a punishment for me to
Yeah.
come here.
That's great to know.
Yes.
Then you also stop their mouth, I'm quite sure.
Yes.
Because, you know,
Then again I got the comment, you are very strange.
yeah. Because this national pride is very materialistic, and devotees don't have that at all. Like, I've been very happy always for different cultures. I like it. I like variation. I don't have anything, you know, I like Muslims, Hindus. I like that people are doing completely different things. Why not? Variation is the mother of enjoyment. But this thing to think everybody should be like me, it's like very animalistic platform. If they're not like me, I'm going to bark at them, you know. Prabhupada said this is like dog platform, you know. So anyway, we try always to avoid that. So I'll just read the last thing here. The advanced Vaishnava is always situated as the spiritual master, and the neophyte is always considered his disciple. The spiritual master must not be subjected to the advice of a disciple, nor should the spiritual master be obliged to take instructions from those who are not his disciples. This is the sum and substance of Srila Rupa Goswami's advice in this 6th verse. Yeah, and any further thing to say or ask?
How can we protect ourselves? Like
By
seriously?
chanting 16 rounds
No,
every day?
I'm chanting, but like
No, but
you
I-
are surrounded by such people
How much
all
you're
the
chanting?
time.
Sorry, how much you're chanting? 16 rounds or less?
For the past 1 week, I'm chanting 16 rounds.
Yeah, but then you should be protected, because it is a special protection we're getting when we chant 16 rounds a day.
When I get this kind of things, if it's because I'm vegetarian or whatever, or my son is vegan, I don't. It's like they are talking, but I'm not listening. I don't have any.
It's like, you know, we just have to think, what is the consciousness of these people?
Yeah.
They're like children, Bala consciousness, spiritual children, you know. You should just be compassionate and think, you know, not take it too serious. Just like when small children, they can say some rude things, but you know, we don't take it very
And then
serious.
after all this, I said, "Did you have a bad day?"
Yeah, that's a good.
No, actually.
Yeah.
You need help.
Then
Come
Yeah.
she
chat
said,
with me.
"No, actually, can I make you a cup of tea then?"
Yeah, sometimes it's like
Yeah.
that. People need attention, and they
Yeah, you know, that's okay, you know. We try and see things in the best light possible. We're not so easily offended. That's another thing. Now we talked about not offending, but actually, if we actually try to be devoted, we're not easily offended. Actually, we don't feel offended. Even if people say something bad to us, we think, okay, maybe there is something I need to work on.
So when you go for book distributions,
Yeah.
some people must be like, "Oh, look what he is doing."
Yeah, of course.
You get such kind of reaction.
Yeah.
How do you deal with
No,
it?
but I usually I'm not used. I'm not used to do that much book distribution also, but the times I did, I took inventory and I thought, you know, oh, this was nice purification, because nothing comes from nothing. So I always think Krishna wants to purify me. So I usually just accept whatever people give me, and I think, you know, okay, what is I'm supposed to learn from this, and I just move on. Of course, sometimes I also may feel hurt, but then I take that also as a purification. I can feel hurt for a long time, but then I understand, okay, now I'm getting a lot of purification. And I try and go deep and see, you know, okay, it must be something I need to learn from this. Always to have the introspection is very good, rather than blame the persons who gave us. Because it's said according to Shastra, anybody who giving us, they're just an instrument of our karma. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just there to.
We don't blame the postman.
No.
They're just postman. Yeah.
It's the letter who comes.
Yeah. It's a letter of, you know, Yamaraj, you know. It's actually Yamaraj who gave us all this.
I feel that in Norway already they are so insecure. Everyone is very insecure, and on top of that, they think if they see someone who is secure, they feel very bad, you know, and then they come and ask you stupid questions.
Yeah, but the thing is that then you should. I heard from another Guru Maharaj in Iskcon. He said it very nicely. That when people are like that, behaving bad, like it is a cry for help. Actually, that's what it is. Because we know from Shastra, we actually know in our heart also that everybody inside in the heart, they're actually a good soul. But externally, you know, they have come into so much trouble. Because we are the life, you know, we are the life force, we are, you know, we are the Atma. And we carry around the mind and the gross body. And through the mind and gross body, we are entangled, we have so much trouble and issues and everything. But these are just, you know, the effects of of us as the soul. So we're just dealing with the effects of life here, you know, in the external world. So it's not actually the most important. The most important is ourself. As you know, the pure life force, the pure Atman. So that way we always think like that when we see other people, what they're dealing with. We see they come in contact with the gunas, with the qualities of material nature, and they're entangled, you know. And the more you get in, if we also get into that, then we also get entangled, because it's mind, you know. And then our soul is following the mind instead. So it's dangerous, actually. We should always just keep our mind back with in the soul, with the Paramatma, with the scriptures, with the chanting. Then we're safe. The moment we go out, the mind is going out, and we follow, actually. And then we're completely lost. Krishna says that in Bhagavad Gita, that it's considered the soul is actually lost. And only because of our previous practice that we have chanted before, we had the sadhu sangha before, some or other we have the routine that we are going to meet the devotees next Sunday. So again, our soul is again taken back into the heart. So that way, you know, it's so good if we can practice as much as possible. And always try and think in a spiritual way from every situation. In that way we can actually protect ourselves.
Sometimes after when you finish work, you just go home, take a cold shower or whatever. Like,
No, I don't think
and
that.
check, but it's like you put away more this material from work.
Yeah.
But you know, you can give a lot of mercy on the work.
Yeah.
I remember when I was working, I mean, sometimes I took with me prasadam on the work. I had some sweet balls, you know, and I gave to my colleagues on the work, and they were very happy, actually.
Yes.
And I remember one time I gave, you know, to one colleague, and that was actually when I was living in temple in Copenhagen. In the beginning, I was working outside. I lived in the temple at the same time I was working outside for like 2-3 years, because I was going to the art school and I had like over 100,000 in the debt, so I had to work for three years. Huh? Yes, I studied art like before year 2000. But at the same time I wanted to be a monk, so they allowed me to join the temple, but then I could also work outside. So I was working outside, you know, like 6 hours a day or something. So then sometimes I took with me the Mahaprasadam to the work and I gave. And I remember one person, when he got the Mahaprasadam, it was like, you know, sweet inside, you know, the paper, you know. And he was so amazed to have this prasadam. So he was eating with the paper, he was eating it. I still remember that. And I never saw that man again. So, you know, Krishna has arranged for people, and I'm sure that person, he got almost liberated from having that Mahaprasad, because it's said actually in the scriptures, if somebody take Mahaprasad in the right consciousness, with very great eagerness, you can actually be liberated on the spot. He was in my work, and I never saw him again after that episode. That's amazing. I'm not making this up. And many times I had great experience bringing the prasad to the work.
I do that. Good idea.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I promise you, then your workplace will be grandly transformed. Yeah, it's amazing, because these people are placed around us for a reason, and Krishna will use us now as an agent for His message. Yeah, because you are His bhakta. You know? So you are His servant. So He will put, you know, His devotees around all over the world to help others. Yeah, this is a fact. They may not, you know, be helped to become, you know, a sannyasi on the spot. Not like that, but just lift, just raising in the consciousness. Just come a little bit higher in the consciousness, you know, but to make advancement, and that is great advancement. It will save ones from the worst.
That's a good idea.
Kind of
Actually, I was
destination.
thinking of, I don't know, today only this thought came that I should take those sweet balls.
Yeah.
That's what I
You know, Prabhupada said that the devotees are like angels, actually. They really are. They're most
But
kind,
then I
you know.
thought, I don't know what will they think.
Nothing, just...
No, but you can just say, you know, you can bring him from temple sometimes, or whatever. You can just say, today we are celebrating, you know, the festival, so I made these sweets, and I'm sure they will be happy.
Yeah, they're always happy.
Sweets with coffee.
You can always give some explanation, you know, that it's because of this festival we have or that. In that way, you know, it's great preaching.
I will do that next time.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you for doing that.
Yeah.